Welcome, everyone, to Wednesday night online. We look forward to Wednesday nights and a time in the middle of the week to check in with everybody and give you a chance to call time out. We know how busy life can get. We know how busy your week probably has been, and maybe even is going to be for the rest of the week. But to call time out for a second, push pause, and say, hey, let's dig in for a second here. Let's think and learn about what God's Word tells us about life. And here's what we know. We know that as pastors, we serve you best by discovering what God's Word says together. We serve you best by working through the Bible and seeing how it applies to life. That's one of the best ways we serve you, right? By doing those things. That's our ultimate responsibility, right? And so one of the ways we've been doing that is by looking at stories in the Bible. Stories in the Bible that capture attention, because we know how Jesus used stories all through the Bible. We know how stories capture our attention even now, whether, again, it be a movie or a sitcom or a sports comeback or whatever. We love the story. I was just recently flipping through and ran across Rocky movies, and so I got stuck in a bit of a Rocky thing there, and just remember the story and the comebacks and the music starts and the training and all that stuff, and it makes you want to be a boxer even though you've never been one. And once you go run some miles and lift up some boulders and go run in the snow in Russia or something like that. But the story is just amazing. And so it caught me, right? And so we've been looking at stories in the Bible. Stories are powerful. And I need to tell you something. I think your story is powerful. I think what God can and is doing in your story can make a big difference in the life of somebody else if you let God do that, if you let God write your story. Now, we're going to look at the story in the Bible today in the New Testament of a lady who had a challenge. And I'm guessing you and I would have the same challenge as well. We're going to look at the story of Martha. Martha had a hard time slowing down. Can I ask you a question? Is it hard for you to slow down? You have a busy schedule. If you were to slow down, would you feel like something was wrong? If you were to slow down, would you feel like you're missing out on something? Are you too busy? Is your family too busy? Man, I think sometimes I am. I think sometimes our family is. And you know what we tend to do in our culture is we tend to wear our busyness as a badge of honor. I guarantee if you run across somebody tomorrow, if you're out and about, or you make a phone call and you say, hey, how you doing? They'll say, hey, I'm doing good. Busy, right? It's not like if we would say, man, I'm doing good. I have just the right amount of stuff on my schedule. I'm not overly scheduled. I've not tried to fit too much into a day. I'm not working too late. I'm quitting I'm stopping work on time, and I'm starting on time. And man, I've got my time management skills down to a T. Nobody ever says that to you, right? We say we're busy, as if something would be wrong if we're not busy. But maybe, just maybe, we're too busy. And Martha in the Bible was a lady who didn't slow down, who always had something going, who always probably was a busybody and making sure everything was set and filling in schedules and any downtime, let's do this, and busy. We know a little bit about Martha. We know that she knew Jesus. We're going to look in John chapter 11. We know that Martha was close to Jesus. We also know that Martha probably wasn't one to hold back thoughts much, okay? So there's one story, it's in John 11, where the brother of Martha, Lazarus, is sick, really sick, to the point where he dies. Now, Jesus gets word about this in John chapter 11, and maybe we would have thought that he would have dropped everything to get there quick, but he doesn't. He stays there 2 days longer where he is before he goes to where Lazarus is, where Martha is. And as Jesus approaches, Martha comes to him, and here's what Martha says. Martha says to Jesus, Lord, if you would have been here, my brother would not have died. Now, verse 22 is very nice and a good follow-up, but even now I know that whatever you ask from God, God will give you. So one of the first things Martha says to Jesus when he comes around the corner and starts walking up to the house is, if you wouldn't have been here, this wouldn't have happened. You would have been able to stop this, right? And we don't know tone here. We don't know, we can't hear it. I wonder if there was a tinge of, hey, who comes at Jesus and says, man, if you would have hurried up and got here when I need you to be here, then none of this would have happened. But hey, I know you can fix it. I know you can fix it, right? So Martha's got this going here. There's another story where Jesus comes to the house where she is, and Martha also has a sister named Mary, and Jesus is a guest in the home. And here's what I want you to see out of Luke chapter 10. Let's look at this story. You may even be familiar with it. Now, as they went on their way, Jesus entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. Now, you know what life might be like when you have guests coming into your home, right? There's some things you're going to think about. There's some preparations you might want to make. There's food things to think about, and is it clean, and is everything arranged appropriately? Do we have enough seating, and what's the lighting like, and all these kind of things that you may be thinking about. Those that are really good at that. Those of us that are not are thinking, hey, it'll work out, right? So Jesus is coming to this house. Here's what it says. And she had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet listening to his teaching. Okay, so man, if you get Jesus coming to your house, there's a lot going on, but maybe what you might want to do is sit and listen, because this person is here. This is Jesus, and what he has to say is going to be incredibly important. But Martha was distracted, it says, with much serving. Now, she's not doing a bad thing, right? It's not like she was off around the corner doing something shady. It's not like she was gone, not living up to an expectation or to a commitment. No, she was serving. She was taking care of people. May have been cleaning up after a meal. She may have been making sure people had pillows and chairs to sit in, and things were running appropriately. She was serving. She was doing a good thing. And she goes up to Jesus and she said this, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Then tell her to help me, right? Okay, so maybe there's been a time where you're working hard and you're helping and you're setting up or you're cleaning up, and somebody, maybe it's your sister, maybe it's a brother, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a family member, is just sitting over there and not helping you at all. And maybe there's been something in you that's like, you know what, you need to get over here and help me clean this up. So can you imagine Martha going to Jesus, the same Martha that when he walked up said, you know, if you'd been here, none of this would have happened. Comes up to him and says, hey, do you not see that my sister's not helping me at all? I'm doing the right thing, right? You should tell her to come help me. Who are we to tell Jesus what he ought to be doing, right? That's what Martha did. But the Lord answered her, Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things. Now, here's what tends to happen to us. Since we wear our busyness as a badge of honor, we also have a lot of things to be anxious and troubled about. Maybe that phrase, you are anxious and troubled about many things, maybe that describes you right now. Maybe you're worried about a global pandemic. Maybe you're worried about what's it going to be like to send my kids back to school. Maybe you're worried about some financial pressures. Maybe there's a health concern. Maybe you're feeling lonely. Maybe you're feeling like you're drifting from God. Maybe there's a challenge with a friend or a family member. Or maybe you're struggling with something that nobody else knows about. Maybe you're anxious and troubled about many things, and maybe that's because your schedule is so packed you don't have a choice but to be anxious and troubled about many things. And it's good for us to call time out and ask why. Why am I so busy? What am I after that's causing me to be so busy? What do I hope to gain out of all this busyness in life? Who am I trying to impress with what I supposedly am going to accomplish with all of this busyness? And Martha was the same way. And the hope that comes from Jesus is that we don't have to live life that way. And we could, and we could just keep packing our schedules on, and we could keep committing to more things, and we could keep, signing up for one more thing and getting our kids in one more thing and overcommitting to one more thing, but we don't have to. There is a solution. Look what Jesus says as he continues, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her. So we have a choice in life, don't we? We do have a choice about our schedules. We have a choice about what we fill our calendars with. I don't know, it's not easy. I know we want our kids to have great experiences, and we want them to, we have FOMO, right? Fear of missing out, which causes us, because of that fear, we fill our schedules up so much that we have no wiggle room. We got no margin. We go from this place to this place. We load up the van with this stuff to get over here quick. And you pick up that one and I get this one, and we'll meet here and we might eat something real fast. We might high five each other on the way by. And we're so busy, we're missing the one thing that is necessary. We're missing the thing that could never be taken away, and that's time with Jesus. Now, all of those things aren't bad. See, Martha was doing a good thing. She was serving. It's not wrong to be involved in things. It's not wrong to sign up for sports or get our kids involved in some things. But there does become a challenge when we get out of balance we get so busy we forget the most important things. And there are a couple of lessons from Martha I want us to think about for a second. Here's the first one. We have to learn how to slow down. You see, when Jesus was in the house that day, Martha would say, my sister Mary, she recognized the moment, but I didn't. And I want to give you permission to slow down a little bit. I know being busy is good, and we can be productive, and we can be successful and all those things, but we don't want to be productive and successful at the expense of the most important things. You see, what you do for a living is very important. It's just not the most important thing. Your investment in your walk with God is important. Your investment in time with your spouse is important. Your investment in time with your kids is important. All right? So we have to learn to slow down. It's okay to pump the brakes a little bit. It's okay not to sign up for everything or be a part of everything everybody wants you to. Just because the neighbor's kids are signed up for 16 million sports doesn't mean you have to. Just because a buddy at work is a part of a few other groups and has committed doesn't mean you have to. Just because that other parent at school signs up for PTA and volunteers at every single event and every single sport and every single band thing possible. And those are good things, but let's not fill our schedule with those things at the expense of our time with the Lord and our investment into our family. We're doing a really cool series on family right now. You should check it out on our website. It's called One Big Happy Family. Here's another one. Devotion is more important than duty. See, Martha was offering duty. I'm serving, I'm cleaning, I'm helping make this happen. But it was time just to sit and be with Jesus, right? The other things are going to be there, but Jesus was in the house right now. And so I can put those, I can wait on those things for a second while I be with Jesus in the moment. We could offer duty and think that's okay, but Jesus wants devotion. But those are responsibilities. And yes, we have responsibilities, but those responsibilities are going to be there. I'm going to ask you to sacrifice everything for this, but don't sacrifice this for everything. See, duty gets distracted when devotion focuses on Jesus. Duty tries to impress with work when devotion sits at the feet of Jesus and listens. Duty gets worked up over nothing, but devotion sits at the feet of Jesus. Duty becomes resentful, but devotion, guess what, sits at the feet of Jesus. Duty does everything but the main thing, and devotion sits at the feet of Jesus. That's the difference between Mary and Martha in this story. Is it hard for you to slow down and spend time with Jesus? Probably. It is for me. It might be for you too. It doesn't make you bad. It makes you human. But when we understand it, we recognize it, hey, then we can start doing something about it. Next thing, Martha would tell you if she was sitting there, she'd say, hey, make sure Jesus gets all the attention. When we host others, preparation is a high priority. That's normal. That's what Martha was doing in the moment. I know when we're going to have guests, Christy goes into hype cleaning mode and everybody's cleaning everything. And I need you to get the bathroom. I need you to get the kitchen. You clean this. It's like, I just hope these people hurry up and get here so we can stop cleaning. Right? And so we understand that preparation is important, but here's what the reminder is: to not let anything get in the way of the main thing. That Jesus isn't the guest. He's our Savior. He's not just there and shouldn't get he should get all the attention. And if we're not careful, what will happen is this. And this is what Martha would say. Don't let anything get in the way of the main thing or the most important thing. And time with Jesus is the important thing. We'll always have a long list of things to do. We'll always have a full schedule. We have to take advantage of those moments with the Lord to be prepared for that. One thing we forget is that we will be better equipped to handle all that life throws at us if we make Jesus a priority. You see, you're too busy not to spend time with Jesus. Sometimes our excuse is I'm too busy to spend time with the Lord. Well, no, you're too busy not to spend time with God. You got a lot going on. You're raising kids. You're doing a job, man. You're helping raise grandkids. You're taking care of them. You got commitments at work and at church and all these things. You're so busy. You better pray. Right? You're so busy, you better spend some time with God before you get your day going, or sometime in that day, so you will be better prepared for what lies ahead of you. You see, a basketball team or a football team or any team, right, would not go into a game without first spending time to prepare, to watch film, to work with coaches, to have a game plan. But we do it every day when we don't slow down and make time with Jesus a priority. So when it's hard for you to slow down, remember Martha. You're not alone. It's okay. but we can do something about it too. All right. Hey, I hope that's an encouragement to you. And well, it's okay to slow down a little. Let's make sure we keep the main things the main thing, right? Don't sacrifice everything for your time with the Lord, right? We need to make sure we keep that a priority. We could gain a whole lot of stuff, lose that in the process, then that's a bad trade, all right? So, hey, let's slow down. Let's learn to spend some time with God and make sure that that helps us prepare for what's next, all right? Hey, love you. Thanks for hanging out, and we can't wait to see you next time.